Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mosab Hasan. Long way from Ramallah, isn't it?
I think so. This is why I'm late.
Look what's going on with all the screens. There's so many Mosabs and Avis around us. Wow. You know, the first time that I saw you, back in 2004, the entrance to Ramallah, when your father was released from the Israeli jail. And you know, now we're here sitting in Aipac's policy conference, and I'm wondering, like, what was it like to be raised in Ramallah for a family of Hamas, Muslim Brotherhood? Your mother's family is coming from Muslim Brotherhood. Your father is one of the founders of Hamas. What was it like?
First of all, it's a privilege, it's a great honor to be here, participating in this very important policy conference. Sometimes I try to rationalize, you know, what the son of a Hamas leader doing in a big Jewish event like this. And the only way to see it, I came up with a theory. I think maybe I was, in a previous life, a very bad Jew. Then I was reincarnated in the household of a Hamas leader to work out my karmas. This is why I'm here. So, thank you for your acceptance. I really appreciate it. You know, I know we're limited on time. I grew up believing in the conspiracy theory that Israel, America, the West hate Muslims. They have conspiracy, they're plotting day and night to destroy Islam, to destroy the Muslim world, and keep people in ignorance. This is in a simple way what we were taught. I saw Israel as the enemy. I saw the United States of America as the greatest enemy. And we believed in this lie. I was brought up in a state of delusion. It took lots of effort to be able to break through the barriers and make it all the way from Ramallah, not to Washington DC, but from Ramallah mentality to a higher truth, where I am able to see things more clearly, if I can say.
Remember that in the book you describe the places that you lived in. You grew up just next to a cemetery, just next to a place where you saw all the shaheeds, all the martyrs, so-called, that were buried. I mean, it's quite awful to hear all these things that you heard.
Yes, well, in theory, people are telling you all our suffering is because of Israel, the United States, and the West. Practically, you see people dying on a daily basis. But it was very hard to see through the lens of a child and make the connection that Yasser Arafat, then all the Palestinian leaderships, sitting in Qatar, in Turkey, in Tunisia, and other locations, sending children to die on checkpoints to make more money. So they were corrupted. I could not see that the real enemy was the leadership of the Palestinians. I blamed everything on Israel, and this is what confirmed the lie to me. As now many people believe in the lie and they see violence, they see children dying in Gaza, but they don't see that Hamas and other Palestinian factions are the actual enemy.
So how on earth did did you do this transformation? I mean, from someone who lived and grew up to Hamas's family, and then again, everything that we had, and then you become an Israeli agent. I mean, what? Did they put a gun to your head? Did they threaten you? I mean, the Shin Bet, the Israeli Shin Bet, did they torture you? What did they do?
Look, I grew up suffering, as many people who suffer in that region. And I always wanted to know the source of our suffering. And you can say that I made many irrational decisions. I did not follow the mind. The mind can be very deceptive. I followed the heart, and I saw a different truth, even though sometimes I had to get out of my comfort zone. One of the most irrational decisions was to work for the state of Israel. It started with the motive of revenge. Then it became
to kill your Shin Bet handler, right?
Without specifying the goal, I was full of hatred and I thought I could penetrate the agency, and this is why I said yes from the beginning. And that put me on a journey with the agency. Later on, I was surprised and shocked by the truth that I saw through the eyes of the other. And I saw a different truth than the wisdom on the Palestinian street.
I remember that you told that the handler in one of the first meetings asked you, did you pray today? Did you eat? Instead of pushing you, instead of threatening you, he was very nice.
Yes, well, Hamas used to tell us that Israel is going to blackmail you. Israel will put a gun and threaten to kill you if you don't work for them. And here I am with, I would say, evil intention. You know, my intention was to kill them, wasn't to take revenge. It was a very destructive idea. And all I see humanity, I see that they were very caring about the human life in general. Yes, they were very hard on terrorism. They did not tolerate a terrorist, but in the meantime, the way they looked at Palestinians in general, civilians, we were very careful in all our operations to make sure that civilians were not involved. And that was a different truth, and I needed to understand it, you know, and come to a place where I can reconcile with myself. On one hand, I believe in something. I believe in theory that Israel is all about to kill Palestinians. Israelis are thirsty for the Palestinian blood. But now here I am in the heart of the Israeli intelligence service. And I see that the intention is not to kill civilians, not to kill Palestinians. So this is where, you know, I needed to be truthful to myself, where I stand. It was not about Israel now. It was not about Palestine. It was about me. Will I stand for my truth that I'm witnessing? Or will I just stick my head in the sand and obey other people's theories and scripture?
Now, you write in your book that working for the Shin Bet was a kind of a game. I remember a couple of crazy stories that you tell in this book that I thought that were phenomenal. Can you share with us one of the stories of how you managed to foil a suicide attempt and how you managed to foil even the Israeli authorities or the Israeli army that thought that you were still a Hamas wanted terrorist?
One day I had two strangers come into our house and they asked me for my father. My father was not at the house, he was in a hike. So I told them, you cannot reach him, you have to go through me first. They said, we are 5 suicide bombers, we came from Jordan, and our help was arrested last night. And we are afraid that Israel would know about our secret location. We have our gear in this car, and we need a safe place just for a few hours. This is why we're here. Now, we were struggling. We were working very hard to put our hand on a suicide bomber before they reach their target. And here I am, face to face with 5 of them. Of course, you know, I couldn't tell them, wait, let me call my Shin Bet handler and see what we can do. And if you let them go, you will hear about them only in the news. So I had to take responsibility, and it was, I was on my own. I had two options: to stick my head in the sand and pretend that I did not see, even call my shipyard handler and tell him this is too dangerous for me, I'm out. They're not going to come and kill me. The other option was to do the right thing. Suicide bombers were targeting Palestinians, Americans, Israelis. They don't differentiate. Humanity is their target, even though they don't realize the danger and the destruction that they're doing. So basically, I told them, you sit in a safe house, wait for me, I'm in charge now. I give them a little bit of money, I took their car,